Hey guys, Lenny Reed, Dynamite Diesel Products, and I'm here with a friend of mine, Cody Hawk. Cody, where are you from?
I am from Michigan, just a little bit hour north of Detroit. I own Hawk Performance Diesel.
So Hawk Performance Diesel, what do you guys do at Hawk?
We sell lots of diesel performance parts. We are mainly Duramax related. That is my specialty. That's what I prefer. But we work with a little bit of them all. Growing up, real young, my old man ran 7.3 Power Strokes until 2002. We acquired our first Duramax. It was a 2002 LV7.
Yeah.
It just so happens I still have that truck today. It is my 2.6 smooth bore pulling truck.
So you actually pull like competitively pretty often?
Yep, I pull in our TTPA, Thumb Tractor Pulling Association circuit throughout the thumb of Michigan with a bunch of my friends from DHD and all throughout Michigan.
Right on, right on. So how many hooks do you guys attend every year?
Last year we did 22, 23, 24.
It's a lot of pulling.
There was 3 or 4 weekends where it was a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
4 pulls in one weekend? Out here, on this side of the States? No, you're never gonna do that. You'd have to travel to like 7 different states to be able to pull that many times in a weekend. You'd wear out tires. With what you guys got going on the Duramax side of things, you're able to really help people get tuning adjusted correctly with turbocharger sizing and the injectors, because that's your forte, is just Duramax stuff, right?
Yep.
So it is, it's a nice relationship for us to be able to like send guys to shops just like yours and people like you that are able to do all that stuff, because we're an injector manufacturer. We understand what size and how many cubed you need to make X amount of horsepower, but we do not forte in the tuning or the turbocharger grouping or anything like that. So I just wanted to say thanks for that, because it's nice being able to partner up with people that are actually doing those things for us and taking those calls and making sure that people get it sized correctly, because everybody always says, we call and we're like, how much fuel do you want? And everybody's always like, all of it.
All of it.
All of it. And they have no idea what all of it really means, because they don't have billet blocks, they don't have deck plates, they don't have all the things they would need to have all of it these days. And all of it in fuel is definitely a lot more than you think it is. So it's nice when somebody like you kind of handles that and then sizes things appropriately. In the last year, it looks like you've sold about 30 sets of injectors in the last year. And it's fair enough to say that they're all 8-cylinder injectors. So approximately 240 injectors. Mm-hmm. How many problems have you had?
I don't want to say we've had a problem yet. I actually had a set show up to the shop here today from a local buddy of mine. I'm not saying it's a problem. We just wanted to rule out an issue we're having by sending them in and just verifying that these are not the issue.
So there is a problem with drivability, runnability of the truck, but you're just sending the injectors in to confirm that it's not an actual injector. Mm-hmm. But is that the first one that you've had in, say, the last 12 or 18 months or whatever?
First one we've had somebody question.
That's pretty awesome, and that makes me super happy, because people get to make money when their customers go away happy the first time, right? Mm-hmm. So it's very nice to hear that we've done that for you, and I can't say that we've gotten that lucky with every single customer out there, because we do have warranties come in. But it's nice knowing that 240 of them left here and didn't have to come back. So you did get to. That was pretty cool that we showed up right then. Mm-hmm. Like, it's cool when you get to see that, but it's even cooler when it's like your own parts that are on the bench getting done. Mm-hmm. So what'd you think of all those things?
I think I put that order in Thursday last week, and they're already working on it. It's definitely cool seeing the minutia or the details for everything that goes out and goes in the customer's engine. That customer himself, I want to say he was planning on hitting either 12 or 1400 horse. Okay. So we sized the 300s out. He's wanting to run we're up in the air on a charger size right now. So that's the next question. He's going to get a big 14 mil, and we're gonna make a run.
Good. When you were looking at the borescopes and the microscopes and the EDMs and all the things, not ever being in a building like this with these kinds of tools, what was it like? What was the experience like? What did you expect?
A hole that's 14 thou large, like seeing it up on a screen, and it's this big, and you can see the nice crisp edges on it and everything. It's definitely cool to see. Or if you look at it like here, you're looking, you really can't see 14 thou up close.
No, you can't. There's like when we make our little pilot holes. Customers called in. Good buddy of mine called in. He's like, "Hey, I thought you said there was pilot holes in this thing," and I'm like, "There are." No, there's not. I'm like, "You're 50. You can't see that. Like they're only 4.5 thousandths thick, like diameter. I promise you can't see them. Get somebody young to look, and they'll see just a whisker there, right?" And he's like, yeah, they're there. I told you, like it's a very small set of holes. And that edge, you'd mentioned the crispness of that edge. That's a big deal because if that, when the fluid from the inside to the outside, that's kind of like trying to load the gun barrel. And you saw that great big radius, that chamfer on the inside of it, and you really want to build up like a lot of pressure and velocity right there, because you've got approximately 47 thousandths of an inch for a rifle's barrel, and you want that fuel to pick up just a ton of speed as it leaves, because when it breaks that outside edge, that crisp, sharp 90-degree edge, it atomizes and does all of its stuff perfectly that way. If the holes get messed up, if the wire head is too far back, then the wire starts to kind of whip around and it makes a real ugly looking hole. And they'll work, but they might get done faster like on the EDM table, but they're not gonna work awesome. So that's just one of the things. All those little tools are things that we have to just, every single day we're double, triple checking all the different parts runs to make sure that we're not making trash parts. Because it's just as easy to make a trash part as it is a really good part, unfortunately, and it's just a lot more expensive because you have to replace trash, and that usually comes out of our bank account, and that's never great.
Nobody ever likes that.
No. Now another thing that you have currently, which is kind of it was one of my old nemesis trucks. Like you currently own a straight to the max truck that a guy named Kevin Wiebe had. Kevin lived up in Bellingham, Washington. He ended up selling it to a buddy of ours, mutual friend, Cody Toner. And then Cody tried his hand at tractor or sled pulling like twice. I think that was twice. I don't think it was more than that. The truck needed a lot of love, but it also, I don't think it's really his thing. And around here it's kind of tough because we don't pull like you guys do. But it was a 3.6 truck, is that right? Sure. When you got it, it was a 3.6 truck? Mm-hmm. I know that Randy's Off-Road in Marysville, Washington built that chassis and suspension a long time ago. And Kevin, him and I ran that truck together. I ran against him for years and years and years. And it was one of them trucks that if it spooled, because I don't know what you're using, but back then it used to have just an Allison transmission in it. And if he got it to spool, it went like stink.
So when we first got it, I got it the day before Father's Day. Not last year, the year before.
Okay.
Cody. And we attempted to hook it to one of my skid steers and just get it to spool, and we couldn't get it. It kept flashing the converter. So that next weekend, I ended up ordering a new converter from Garand.
Okay.
We slapped in a Garand AR and finally got it to spool, and it would start flashing through at about 10 psi. So it was starting to make power.
Yeah.
And once we got it out on the track, I actually got it to go.
Yeah.
It was cool.
So it was actually, it's coming together. Now, you currently have a motor being built by Dirty Hooker, is that correct?
We actually picked it up Thursday.
Oh, wow.
It is on a pallet. We picked it up, went out and hung out with them.
So you've got DHD's motor at your place, ready to go in it. Is that going in directly? What's the plan with that motor? What are you going to do with that motor?
So I originally blew up the engine in straight to the max. My buddy Evan was there. He's the engine builder at DHD. I'm like, you see what happens? Let's fix it. So we ordered everything, and it took about a year. For something that big, it's a timeline.
Yeah.
So it is planned. The original idea was to put it in the 3.6 truck, but we're kind of taking on a first tour duty, and we're going to slap it in a UCC truck and make a run at that.
Oh, wow. So this will be, now I know that I've seen you at UCC before, but you've never competed in UCC, have you?
No. Hanging out with Maury Logue, salesman at DHD last year, it kind of gave me the itch. I was a little bit more close to it, close to the action, seeing everything up close.
Right.
I think I want to give my what's the word for it?
Throw your hat in the ring.
Yeah, hat in the ring. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay, so now what are you going to throw on up chargers at UCC?
So our current charger setup is going to be a GT55 high pressure charger in an 88 millimeter version. Then I just happened to order a Forced Inductions 122. It's going to be a rather large compound setup. Not as big as my buddy Maury ran last year. I'm looking at you, Maury. And we're downsizing it, being a little bit more compact, a little bit more manageable.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes not swinging for the fence is a little bit easier on the checkbook, and sometimes it's also easier just to finish the event.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to run a 122 blowing into like an 88 mil GT55, I assume you're going to be 22, 24, 2,500 horsepower probably.
That's our goal.
Are you going to like spray it with some nitrous too?
We're gonna spray it with nitrous. Not as much as Maury again, but we're making it more manageable.
Yeah. You going to run some wastegates on that thing?
Yep, that is part of our plan. I'm still speccing those out. I haven't got that far yet.
Big
ones.
Big ones. Just two big gates. Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. So what chassis is that going to go in?
I happened, the chassis is obviously Duramax GM unit. It's a single cab, long bed, 2002 GMC, or Silverado this time.
Okay.
We're stripping it down, putting cage in it, 4-link system from Firepunk. Not billet, but fiberglass front clip, fiberglass bed sides. We're gonna get the weight real down low. We're gonna do some kind of rear subframe for the pulling setup.
Okay, so it's got a subframe from Firepunk.
4-link.
Oh, yeah, okay. 4-link from Firepunk. So it's really, I mean, they're like 100% Dodge guys.
Same 11.5 axle though.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. I guess you got me there. So you are going to have a subframe on the back of it, so it's going to get changed out?
Somehow we're going to do that. I happen to have the rear axle that's slated for straight to the max. I'm thinking I'm going to build something to adapt to that as well.
So is that like a SQHD or something?
2145.
2145, yeah. You going to run bar tires for UCC?
I haven't decided yet. It's going to depend on how they do the track again. I'll probably bring the cuts I have. I'll also bring a set of like DOTs. Could be duals on the back, could be singles on the back.
Just put bars on it.
Go big or go home.
Go big, go home. Like, it is such a sandy track. I think they'll work out pretty good there anyways. But, that's just my thoughts. Mm-hmm. You might get lucky and do something totally different and I could look foolish. But I'm cool with that. What's a good way for people to get a hold of you, though?
You can access me right off the website. It'll direct you to our text line or our email address, sales@hawkperformancediesel.com.
There goes my microphone. Sorry guys, I'm not, it's just a microphone, I promise. Okay, so hawkperformancediesel.com, that's your website. Mm-hmm. And lots of parts on there, but most importantly, you do monitor that stuff and you do tech calls. Like via telephone too, or just on the?
Just text and email.
Okay.
I have found that that's the easiest way to keep track of everybody.
Amen.
I get a lot of guys that say calls easier for them, but as soon as you tell me you have this, and this, there are 7 other guys that have this, and this as well. Mm-hmm. Unless I can go back and read what you have, it's hard to keep everything straight.
It is.
There is a method to my madness. Yeah. I will say that. Do
you have customers that have dealer-driven street-driven vehicles?
Tons of them.
So is that kind of the lion's share of your business, you think?
I would almost say I do lots of competition stuff with like the 300s we looked at today. That guy is shooting for a straight, a pull, and he wants to make a dyno hit at Dan's diesel event in May.
Okay. So it's kind of a UCC truck, but that one was only going to be like 12, 14 hours, so he said? So it's a baby UCC truck, really.
Yeah, that was his idea behind it.
That's cool. Know that. And then, as far as drag racing goes, is there a lot where you're at? Do you service a lot of drag racers? Do you help a lot of drag racers?
So circling back to the set that I sent in to have checked today, that's what he enjoys doing throughout the summer. It's a Sunday driver, but he also likes to take it to our local drag strip.
Gotcha. Well, what we could do is we could see if we can get Chris to, maybe he's looked at those injectors, maybe he hasn't, but if we kill the cameras right now, maybe we'll go down there.
I'd love to send him a fucking picture saying, hey, I'm testing your injectors here.
Yeah. Let's go do that right now.